Hi, everyone. This is Devon Fuller with Center of Life. I'm the Assistant Coordinator of the Family and Community Engagement Program. Welcome to our workshop, our Healthy Hazelwood workshop. Tonight we have presenting from Community Kitchen. It's a Hazelwood community organization. And here presenting us with their job and their training opportunities is Renee Varga. She is the Career Services Coordinator at Community Kitchen, and she's going to tell us all about their wonderful opportunities there. And this will be recorded, so if you didn't catch it, hopefully you'll be able to catch it on one of our platforms a little later on. So thank you for joining us. And Renee, you can go.
All right, so yeah, hi everyone. I'm Renee. Again, as Devon said, I'm Career Services Coordinator for Community Kitchen. Also here is Sarah Nevels. Sarah is our program manager. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. 1 second. Oh. Okay. Okay. So we have a PowerPoint. Let me show you all about our program. So we have two programs at Community Kitchen. The first one is our, sorry, just trying to mess around with this, is our culinary training program. And that is our kind of, I think, our more important one that we're recruiting for right now. And so the culinary training program is 12 weeks and it's at no cost to students. It is, as you see here, designed for people who have some barrier to employment. And we'll get into those a little bit later, kind of what barriers we typically see. But our students are taught by great chef trainers. We have 3 chef trainers and they're all really excellent, great people, and they're really good at what they do. And then we also have workforce development and kind of life skills training also that our students do every week. And before COVID, they were kind of touching base with the kitchen and our case managers every day. Obviously that's changed a little bit since, but still definitely a lot of contact with the kitchen and the case managers on a regular basis. So some of the barriers that our clients experience are limited or no work history, which can obviously be really difficult when you're trying to get a job. If someone has no transportation or driver's license, we do provide bus passes to our program. Also limited education or gaps in your education or work history. So if somebody expresses an interest in wanting to get their GED, for example, we will work with you to make that, to work towards that goal. If someone has any kind of personal thing that they're going through, could be mental health, could be recovering from addiction or some kind of trauma, or just family circumstances is a really big one. We see a lot of people who have that going on in their life, and of course we'll support you through that as well. Criminal background, we accept anyone except for anyone on Megan's list, but other than that, we accept all criminal convictions or a need for immediate income. This, I would also say with this, we provide such high quality culinary training that if you are someone who's already in the culinary business maybe and looking to kind of train your skills up and get a higher level of training, this is a really great option for that as well. So why Community Kitchen? I'll go into more of how we've kind of restructured because of COVID in a minute, but since COVID has come about, we have transitioned our life skills, most of our programming onto an online platform called Brubay, and it's great. But I think more importantly is the fact that we really do push the life skills and things like financial literacy or other other important skills like that that will make it easier for you to get a job in the future or be successful at a job placement once you complete the program. We also have, again, our really high quality chef trainers, and they're good at what they do. They make us lunch every day. I guess sometimes it's other people, but it's good. Um, and also, a really, really awesome aspect of our program is that we have a lot of contracts with shelters in the area or local schools that we provide food to them or like meals. I know over Thanksgiving we had thousands of meals that we packaged and sent out. And so the food that our students are making as they're learning their skills some of that will go to these local places and will help feed people who are hungry. Um, and then also we connect you with any services that we can, be that like if you're looking for childcare and we know of a place that could help you, we will give you the contact information for them and all other things like that. Also things like GED tutoring, etc. To the extent that we can, we definitely try to offer those support services. Also, again, it's at no cost to the students. And we have a pretty big focus on resume building. We have one of our case managers is really, really good at phrasing things so that they always sound good. Um, she could take any sentence and make it into the most positive, amazing thing you've ever heard. And then we also have at the completion of the program, we place you with a job. And before COVID, we had a 100% job placement rate. And obviously the pandemic has hit restaurant workers pretty hard, but it's still quite high in terms of job placement. We will also help you with applying for SNAP, any kind of medical or financial questions you have. We will either help you ourselves or give you the resources to learn more about those. And you have the opportunity for Servsafe certification, which is really helpful if you are going into the culinary business. And I believe it's also a couple $100s if you take it on your own. And then we also have incentives for job retention. So if you are qualifying and you are like happy at your job and you stay there for a certain amount of time, we do offer cash incentives so that you're doing an awesome job, like everybody's happy, your employer is happy, then we're also happy and we can offer you some cash on that end as well. So this is our facility. It's in Hazelwood. We're on Flowers Avenue and 2nd, as you can see there. So if you're ever walking by, we'd love to see you come in. Actually, not right now because of COVID, but normally we would love to see you.
It's also very accessible on the bus line.
Yes. Yeah. And our kitchen is right on the first floor. So if you want to pop in and see the kitchen, again, not right now, but normally that would be totally great. So our program is organized into 3 tiers. We start a new cohort every 4 weeks. So hopefully our next class is starting on January 18th, but obviously things are never 100% sure these days in the pandemic. But so yeah, every 4 weeks we'll start a new class and then they'll become tier 1. And then at the conclusion of those 4 weeks, they go into tier 2, then tier 3. So the way that our curriculum is organized is we have all of these skills that students are learning and they build as you move through the tiers. So your knife skills might start out pretty simple and by the end they're like quite advanced. Definitely things like food safety and like food handling is kind of front loaded because it's really important. You don't want to get anyone sick. But yeah, so these are all the things that they would learn. And then of course, also you have the life skills and workforce development as well. Okay, just another view of our nice building. So these are some statistics. As I said before, we had a 100% job placement before COVID, and now that's down to 92. But if you look at the 85% 12-month retention, 85% out of almost 140 a year is a lot of people who have found long-term quality jobs. So that's definitely something that I think is really exciting. Um, and the fact that we're still finding ways to make it work even in COVID, it's really promising and exciting, I think, to me. So how we've changed for COVID. Whereas we used to be all in person, like most things, we had to change to kind of a hybrid model where students are online 3 days a week doing Roubaix, and kind of getting their lessons from there. And then 2 days a week, they will be in the kitchen in person. And they also meet with case managers once a week. So it's staggered so that the tiers, actually, I should put these up. Yes, so it's broken up like that for each, like for the entire 3 weeks. And then it's staggered by tier in terms of who is in the building every day. So say tier 1 will be there Monday and Wednesday, tier 2 is Tuesday and Thursday, and tier 3 is maybe Wednesday afternoon and Fridays. So that just so we can allow for social distancing in the building. And we're hoping to return to all in person as soon as it's safe to do so. It's obviously pretty hard to learn culinary skills online, which is why we still have students come in 2 days a week. But as soon as it's safe, we're there. So this is actually at a restaurant that we partnered with. They opened really recently, and it's in Hazelwood. So this is called Woods House. When things are back open, I would highly recommend. I've been twice now, and it's really good. But they have one of our chef trainers working in their kitchen. He developed the menu, and he like still is there cooking for them. And 2 of our graduates are also there in the kitchen with him. And so this is one of those graduates. His name is Taurus. And this is just a quick video kind of his experience.
My name is Taurus Reed, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I grew up in the Hill District. I wanted a life change. I wanted something different. I always loved cooking. It was always in my heart. Something that I started when I was 15. I went to culinary arts in La Cordon Bleu for a little bit, but it wasn't what I expected or what I needed at the time. Time went on. I had gotten into a little bit of trouble in my life, and it was time for a change. I was in the Renewal Center at the time, which is a recovering home for people that has been incarcerated. I got presented with community kitchens, and I went for it. It's a good experience if you have the love for cooking, baking, or anything that has to do with the restaurant. I feel they teach you the way that some people are accepted to being taught. You have some that are good at books, you have some that are good at hands-on, and CKP is good at incorporating both of them type of learning experiences. I don't have one specific favorite moment. I want to say every moment that I spent there was a learning experience and a memorable moment. I say, CKP should stay with exactly the way they're doing, and which is open to progression. So there's nothing I can suggest to change. It's going to change on its own, especially with the new people, different people that come in, new people that come in, different experiences that we go through. It's on a good track. I opened up a couple restaurants in my past. So for this to be the 3rd week of us being opening, I feel like we're doing a great job. I see improvement come in later on. There's things that we have to work on. It's a new kitchen. So there's things that we have to, like we have to get a system on where things are going to go, certain pans, certain food stations, still coming along. What I like to see is just have this parking lot full, Monday through Friday, and we're taking it to the level where we're introducing fresh ingredients on fresh pub time, So I think we're going to cross a barrier that a lot of restaurants haven't. If this is what you really love to do, put your all into it. It's going to get rough. It's going to be tough, but it's a good reward at the end. If you're in it for the money, then you're just going to get that. But if you're in it for it because you have the passion to see somebody smile because you put the effort and the hard work into that plate, and this is the right place to be. Be open to new teachings and new things. That way you'll be able to flourish in anything. But if this is what you want to do, this is the right place to start.
Okay. Yeah, I just realized too that I didn't turn my mic off, so I hope it wasn't really echoey. But yeah, so that's Taurus. Again, he graduated in 2019 from the culinary program, and he was working at the yard for a bit, and now he is up at Wood's House, which is close to our kitchen, but is kind of an independent restaurant that we are working with. So Taurus right now is technically a part of our transitional jobs program, which is a separate program, but, oh, no, this is gonna play again. Hold on, okay. All right. So our transitional jobs program, again, it's separate from the culinary training, but some quick points on that. It is not required that you have any kind of job or work history or education. Same qualifications as the culinary training in terms of there kind of are not many. But we also, it's a 6 months maximum program. So we start looking for job placement at 3 months and then continue to look for a placement until you hit your 6 months, at which point everyone needs to be placed out of the program. So we accept applications for this on a rolling basis, as opposed to the every 4 weeks that we start a new cohort of the culinary training. And so these jobs are generally in the kitchen, but they aren't necessarily as culinary based. So the job placements that we look for people out of the TJO program are sometimes a little more varied. I know we've had people who are interested in electrical work or who want to go into kind of inventory type things. So you're still in the kitchen, but if that's not really what you want to do forever, we will definitely look for something for you out of the TJO program. And I think that's all I have on TJOs. Yeah, so that was all that I have. If anybody has any questions now, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
And Renee, I may have missed the slide, but we do provide uniforms, bus passes, shoes, and at the end of the culinary school program, when you complete, you will receive, again, as Renee had said, you will receive Servsafe Certification, that's money. That is also an additional pay scale when we're looking for employers to hire you. We also provide our graduates with a professional knife kit, which is, again, that's hundreds of dollars right there. That's a professional knife kit. And when you graduate, you'll know exactly how to use every piece of it.
Thank you, Renee. And I'm sorry, I just wanted to let you know I'm monitoring the chat for any questions.
Oh, okay, great. One last thing I forgot to mention was that our At the completion of the program, you are eligible to transfer up to 15 credits to CCAC towards a culinary degree.
And then after graduating, you do have the opportunity to join one of our specialty tracks. At this point right now, our specialty track is baking, but we are looking at expanding some of those specialty tracks to include inventory, marketing. We would love to have cake decorating, and again, expanding some of those. So those are separate programs. The baking track right now is 8 weeks. It does happen in the evenings, and you do, when you complete it, have 3 credits to Chatham University.
There is
And
a
again,
question in the chat. Do you pay for childcare?
No, we do not pay for childcare, but we can assist you in applying for the Early Learning Resource Center and what used to be CCIS childcare subsidy.
Yeah, so just in the chat, can you say more about the CCAC credits? I actually was just looking into what requirements they have at CCAC for this degree, and 15 credits would essentially knock out a semester. And it's a 2-year program, so basically you would only need to take 3 semesters.
And also, just to let you know, I know it was kind of vague in the description of the skills that you'll walk away with, but you will learn sauces, you'll learn breads, pastas, dressings, you'll learn all of the mother sauces, you will learn basic terminology, as well as more complicated terminology in the kitchen. And we do, as Renee had mentioned, we do kind of cross-train you. So you'll learn some inventory, you'll learn some things that can be taken, because one of the things what we recognized is a lot of our students were or our graduates were very, very poorly affected by COVID, and their jobs were eliminated, or hours were reduced, or they were laid off. And we realized that we needed to kind of shift to meet a different market and to have our students have other skills that might be transferable in a COVID world.
Yeah.
And I saw another question.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a question. So if looks like someone has previously enrolled, who do they reach out to if there was someone that was supposed to reach out to them but didn't?
Okay, so 2 things. One, Dontel, can you put your email address in the chat box for me? And then I will also put my cell phone number, so you can call me and we can restart your enrollment process. All right, let me write that down. When did you apply? Two weeks ago through Literacy Pittsburgh. Okay. I can tell you that our next, what's the date? January 9th?
18th.
No, for the next open house.
Yeah, I think it might be the 9th. It's the Wednesday, the second Wednesday in January, I want to say.
So whatever that date is, that is our next open house. But I will make sure to add you to our email list for our next weekly
You said the
powwow.
second Wednesday in January?
Yeah.
It looks like the 13th.
Is it the 13th? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so the 13th is our next open house. But right now, to keep our students kind of engaged and connected with us and in the loop of what our updates are and what is going on, we are doing weekly powwow sessions. So those happen every Wednesday afternoon at 11. So I will make sure to add Dontel to our list, and we'll send you a Zoom link so you can join us next week.
You said those sessions were weekly you were doing?
The powwow sessions, yeah. So it's really just an opportunity to, again, keep everyone, because we had a group of students who were supposed to start at the beginning of December,
Mhm.
but we shut down again. So we had to put
Right.
them on hold. And we
Okay.
really didn't want to just like leave them disconnected. We
Mhm.
wanted to make sure they were still connected and engaged with us. And we
Okay.
wanted to keep them in the loop and excited.
Okay.
So we have
Okay.
weekly powwows with them. Last week we dropped off a dozen cookies to each of them.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
we're trying, to keep them very, very excited and engaged. The weekly powwow is really just, it's about 45 minutes to an hour maximum. It is an opportunity. We do an icebreaker. We, have some fun. We laugh a little bit. We share information about each other. We share updates about the program. We give them a fun kitchen tip. And then we do a little life skills tip.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So if someone is unemployed and wants to try to participate and then gets called back to work, so I know that we have had students in the past who have done the culinary training and have worked a job at the same time. Obviously, that wouldn't work for everybody, but if that's something you might, I don't know, if that would work for you, then that's definitely been done before. I would also say that isn't maybe like doing the other tiers later is not typical how people would go through the program, but it does happen. If you need to leave the program for whatever reason, and you just communicate that well with us and the chefs, then no problem. You're welcome back whenever you can.
Yeah, as long as you communicate that with us and it's a smooth transition and not just you call us one day and you're not coming back. It's just like any other job, basically. If you give us, some notice and we work through some things, and you leave on favorable terms, yes, we allow you to come back.
I have a question. How long is the day? Because I know the schedule, back then was like 8 to 3 or something like that. And
Yeah,
being
so
that
right,
different now, they only go 2
yeah,
days.
right now it's kind of tricky because, as Renee said, we stagger. So not everybody's day is the same because we can only have so many people in the kitchen. So we stagger people. So you might work 8 to 4 in person Tuesday and Thursday, but then during the other 3 days, you're on your own doing Roubaix, with the exception of we do have Zoom classes where it's a certain time, but Roubaix is at your pace on your time. You just have to get through those assignments each week. And we track that you've done it each week. But yes, typically our start time is 8 a.m. 8
Okay.
a.m. to 4.
Okay. Thank you.
And Sarah, I introduced Renee as our career services coordinator. What is your title at Community Kitchen? I'm sorry I didn't get to introduce you.
That's okay. I'm the program manager. And I think it's Jess, for your question also, one of the options could be to move into the baking track, because the baking track is only 2 days a week and it's only in the evenings. It's not full days. So maybe you could then work around your work hours and still stay connected and learning.
I really like for sure, the bus pass. Um, you guys being able to do that because I know transportation definitely can be a barrier. So I know that helps tremendously. And I don't see any more. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I
one
see
more.
another
I was
question.
about to say, I see one more.
And I can also say transportation. I do know that some of our students do drive and they do kind of carpool. And you'll often see students coming together, leaving together, making their shifts together. So, we really do try to help in any way we possibly can to knock down those barriers. What are the hours for that at night class? Any of them online? No. So the baking is all in person. Right now, I think is it Tuesdays and Thursdays, Renee?
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think from 4 to 6:30. And that's like, so the baking track, you can't pop in the middle. our next one of the baking track also starts the same day, the January 18th.
Yep.
And we have not had a discussion whether those will be exactly the same hours or not, but as far as I know, they will be. Yes, it is in Hazelwood. It's Chatham University is the training component, but it is at our CKP building in Hazelwood.
Are there other locations for Community Kitchen, or is only solely based in Hazelwood?
From your lips to God's ears. Right now it's in Hazelwood, but
Okay.
another building
All
would
right.
be wonderful.
Well, let's root that it's in other areas as well.
Yes. Yep. I mean, we have a great building. We're right there, very accessible for transportation. So it's a great location.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's a great location, but we would never mind more.
The age is what, 18 and older?
18, and we have 2 people in there right now who are retirees.
Okay.
So yes, 18 is the youngest, and your age is whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
And as Renee said, you know, one of the reasons this program was created was because of those barriers that stop people. And you know, we all know that when you have felonies or a criminal record, getting into the workforce is very, very difficult. And restaurants seem to be about the only place you can land. And when you land in a restaurant with felonies or with a criminal record and you don't have skills, you're at the bottom. You typically are starting rate, starting wages, and, you know, a dishwasher to begin with. And your wage progression is never the same as someone without a record. So this was created. One of those reasons why it was created was to allow people with records a place to get training, a place to work through those barriers, and a place to be able to move into a restaurant, not at the starting wage, and with some skills under their belt that they can put on their resume that say, hey, like, I deserve another chance and I can do this and I have skills to back that. So we do not, you know, the only thing we won't take is Megan's Law list. Anything else we will take. And not everyone in our program is coming from a space where they have a record or felonies. Some, you know, we get a lot of moms who are entering the workforce maybe for the first time and have absolutely no experience and nothing to put on their resume. And employers don't want to give them a job because they have no skills, or at least it's seen on paper that they have no skills. Oftentimes we know, being a single mom, you have lots of skills. They just can't be transferable on a piece of paper for a resume.
Okay.
But
So,
you know,
sorry.
No, go ahead.
If somebody wants to enroll, do they contact you?
Yeah, so they can contact Community Kitchen, or they can contact me, or they can go on our website. And there's a link right there that says enroll now. And you can fill out that information form and it gets sent to us directly, and then we'll contact you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
When the baking track. So the baking track is a fairly new program. Again, it is through Chatham University, and it is a full baking track. You will learn cakes, you will learn breads, you will learn everything along the lines of baking, you will learn measuring, you will learn about yeast and what breads need to rise, leaven yeast and leaven non-yeast, or active yeast. You get pretty much everything that you need as far as baking, and it stops right at cake decorating basically. There's a little bit of frosting and a little bit of decorating, but not anything, you know, fancy. And it is 3 Chatham University credits.
Yeah, we're working on a partnership with a restaurant in the Strip, actually, so that once you graduate from the baking track or while you're taking it, you can join kind of an apprenticeship program. and work with them in their kitchen to expand what you learn with us at Community Kitchen, and to just get that additional kind of work experience with them as well. So we're hoping from there, actually to answer your question just from now, Jess, we're hoping that we'll be able to apply that to another bakery in the future, so that we can get those cake decorating skills in there, because our chef trainer who teaches the baking program or the baking track, just that's not really his thing. So if we could find someone that could offer that training, and like it's a paid opportunity too, that would be ideal for us.
That's all lies. It's all lies. It might not be his thing. He might not like it, but he's incredible.
Is he really? I didn't even know that.
That needs to be his thing, but he doesn't like it. But some of the things that you'll learn to bake, again, we do our own fresh breads. So they make baguettes. We do a lot of catering, so they can make sandwich rings. Just the bread part, of course. I mean, the kitchen does the other part, but in the baking track, they do the bread ring. They do Christmas desserts. We did a lot of catering events with Christmas desserts. There was lemon tarts, there was apple pies, there was sweet potato tart, little, I don't know what they were. Babkas. For Woods House, we make all the breads for Woods House. So they're in-house breads. It is, again, the baguette, and it's brioche buns for the hamburgers, and the crostinis for the mussels and different things. So you will learn all of that. And I would say also, to answer Jess's question, we probably would have cake decorating right now if it weren't for COVID. We'd be up and running with our cake decorating, but it's kind of hard to start new initiatives when things are so up in the air. And it's hard to bring in new partners when we have to kind of be very careful with social distancing.
Mm-hmm. I know you all spoke, of course, so much about the great training and job opportunities. I definitely would like for you guys to speak on a little bit else of what Community Kitchen offers to the community, because I know working at Center of Life, you guys also feed a multitude of the community as well.
Yes. So I will tell you, I think one of the most meaningful things, and I know one of the videos that we're working on with one of our students, he talks about what really means a lot to him is that everything he cooks in that kitchen, none of it goes to waste, none of it. So we feed Light of Life Ministries, we feed their shelter, we feed Pittsburgh Public Schools. We have a contract with several of the area schools, including Malliance, Hazelwood Family Support Center. We feed their families as well. So they get family meals as well as the to-go school lunches or the grab and go school lunches. I know Renee had spoke about during Thanksgiving, we fed over 14,700 people. So what we do isn't just to teach you, it is also very needed and very useful in our communities. And I mean, this is what we do every day. So you're not just learning, you're also giving back, which is a big difference, and it really does feel good. We worked our butts off during Thanksgiving. We got cuts on our fingers. We were all in the kitchen. All of the upstairs operations and office staff were downstairs in the kitchen, and we had so much fun. It was brutal, but it was incredible to know what we were giving back and what that was meaning for a lot of families and a lot of homeless families or families that wouldn't really get a meal.
I'm so grateful for you speaking on that, because I hear, like I said, I hear the great job opportunities, but I know a lot of people who come from a background of having a hard time, they often are the ones who want to give back. So to hear like, hey, you're learning, you're getting a way of supplying for your family, but you're also able to give back to that community. So that was, I'm so excited. And I actually got to taste some of the Thanksgiving food, and it was great.
And then, you know, another part of what makes Community Kitchen is so different is, you know, if you went to, and Taurus kind of touched on this in his video, when you go to a culinary school, they're just teaching you, right? You're just learning the skills and they're just teaching you. When you come to Community Kitchen, you are a human being first. And whatever those barriers are, whatever your challenges are, we walk with you hand in hand, side by side, to really try to eliminate those. So you meet with one of our caseworkers, and we have 2-on-1s where it's usually a kitchen, a chef or a kitchen staff, and one of our caseworkers, or myself and Renee. And we will meet with you. We will ask you what your goals are, both short-term and long-term. We will ask you in your first interview when you enroll. One of our first questions is, what could stand in your way of completing this program and being successful? And we write those down and we look at those and we problem solve those first off to be proactive. So if childcare is one of those issues, if transportation is one of those issues, if providing, you're the person who takes care of your elderly parents, then we look at how we can help you come up with other solutions. And again, we try to do that very proactively because your success is our success. That's important to us. And we don't ever want to set our students up, because most of our students and our TJOs have already had a life with a lot of failures, or what appears to be failures or feels like failures. We don't want to set you up for another disappointment or another failure. We want you to succeed. And we care about your success. Sometimes we care about your success more than you do sometimes. But we really, really try very hard to help you every step of the way. And we also really try to create a community around you so that we don't have caseloads, so to speak, where Markia doesn't have all of these students and Mr. Robert doesn't have all of these students. We have students together. And you don't just have to go see Markia. If she's not there, you can come see me, or you can come see Renee. So we really do try to wrap ourselves around you as a community. And also the students really do wrap themselves around each other as a community as well.
And I will say too, I think it's really telling of kind of the culture of our whole building that, if they're really behind on production downstairs and they need someone to come put a couple hundred cookies in bags, like Sarah and I have done that, I think multiple times in the past week. So.
Yeah, one of our partners is the Renewal Center, and Renewal got locked down. So that's that's about 6 of our TJOs. So we were short-staffed 6 people. So they come upstairs and say, hey, we need some help. We roll up our sleeves, put on a CKP t-shirt and run down there and help. But that's also a great opportunity. And one of the things that we enjoy the most about that is we get to see our students in action, which is, that's a lot of fun. And we get to connect on a different level than when you're in our office talking to us about, problems.
Sounds like very community, very family oriented program. So that's good to know. Me being a Hazelwood resident, to know that program is here in our community. And I just thank you guys for all that information, because some of it I didn't even know. So I'm like, yes, maybe I need to go in there and just go to community kitchen myself. But yes, I'm excited. I'm grateful for you guys coming on and just sharing that and taking the time to giving our community members and anyone that job opportunity, training opportunity, and the information.
Absolutely. Thank you. And again, if you're interested in enrolling, or someone who is, my cell phone number is up in the chat. The website is also up in the chat. You can go directly on the website and follow the prompts and go to Enroll Now and fill out that form, or you can call us.
Yep.
Okay.
And if there's no more questions, and of course, hopefully we'll be reiterating this in another follow-up email, all the information, the contact information. I wasn't sure, Renee, if you wanted to put your information in the chat as well. And it was wonderful questions. I thank you for those questions. A lot of them I didn't even think to ask. And as you see, there's contact information in the chat. Try to follow up with that in an email of everyone who joined. And I thank you guys once again for coming on. wasn't sure if there was any more information you wanted to share before we close.
I don't think so.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Good to meet you all.
Thank you. Very, very informative. Thank you for feeding our community and offering those job opportunities. Thank you all for joining. And
Yes.
we look forward to seeing more for Community Kitchen, and anyone who would like to join their program, please get in contact with Community Kitchen or Center of Life. We can direct you there. So you all have a good evening, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.